Could somebody please remind me that I need to do that?
I'm probably gonna forget.
And I need to put the thing in for the whatnots and the what, you know. I'm having a day. I think the pain level has gotten a little too high.
Significant.
Yeah, and I don't have enough painkillers in me, so. Hello, is there anybody out there in Facebook land right now?
Kaci. Just me?
Just Kaci. Just Kaci. Nobody but Kaci.
No,
The only body that loves us.
I'm so lonely.
We will wait. Wait for them. I actually went to the urgent care on Saturday and had to get a short of Toradol and some anti-inflammatory and some Tylenol coating. It was a hard work. It was a hard week. And that was so I could work on Sunday.
Good Lord. Is it your back again?
It always is. Especially when you're guiding 22 people. It should have only been like 9. But the ship broke it. It sunk one of my kayaks.
I heard
Yeah.
about the kayak sinking.
Yeah, that was a nice gash.
But at least you were, the people in the kayak were okay.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they'd have called and said, hey.
Well, it didn't say they weren't rude, it just said they were okay.
I still said my mom should have charged them for it. Because they were told if you get stuck, don't scoot. They got stuck and they scooped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's going to be a hard battle to win, too.
It is, especially if the kayak is more like a real. Sorry. Oh my God. So we got one person watching. There were 2.
That would be Kaci. I did see that. Now there's just, you know.
Anybody? Did you post it?
Yes,
There,
she
yeah.
posted it.
Person.
She posted
I
it
did. I
everywhere.
posted it.
So we got 2 people. Birdie.
Birdie!
Hello, Birdie.
And I sent out invites yesterday.
Hi, Birdie.
We'll give it a few.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Christine B. Hello, Christine. Now
Christina.
Is there an A on it? Sorry. I can see most of it. I just guess at the rest of it.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to look at Casey's phone.
Oh no, I'm tired. I can't see that far.
I know. I can't even with my glasses on. I can't see
Oh, there's
it.
Shannon. Hi. Everybody's starting to come in now.
So we're going to wait a few minutes.
Yeah, we are. So while we're waiting for somebody to, why don't you let us know how, in one word, how has your day, week been?
There, that's my one word. Yawn.
Yawn, yeah.
It's been tired. Not much better than the last couple of weeks, but definitely tiring.
Yep, tired. I want to sleep for a week.
So how's everybody else's week been going? One word.
What's your word, Miss Edith?
I don't know how this week has been yet. Well, I was back in the doctor's office. Well, I'm having issues with the foot again, so I did my own debridement this time rather than waiting for the doctor, and then showed up at the doctor's office on Monday, and it was like, Miss Stanley, there's nothing wrong with your foot. Yes, there is. It hurts. Look at it. So they're like, no, you're fine, Miss Stanley. But I did have a foot with a scab on it that when the scab came off, it hadn't healed up. So, but apparently when I did my own debridement, it was a whole different story.
Well, you're doing your own.
Yeah.
Save yourself some money.
Well, unfortunately, I have to pay for the doctor, but they're looking at us like, what? And you stepped on what? No, there's probably a staple left in there. I was like, no, there's no staple left in there. Trust me. So I was like, everybody in the office had to come in and take a look at it, and it's like, so it's been kind of, that was a very long one-word story, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's just, it was a busy weekend at work.
While we're waiting, if you want a reading, type in reading. If you want to talk to someone that's passed, you need their full name and their date of death, or you can say like my spirit guide. So, while we're waiting for everybody.
Shannon says this week was sentimental.
I noticed that. Sentimental and how, well, while we have the time, explain to us what's happening there. And Bertie, the weather out here actually today was very, very nice. It was,
It'll be nice tomorrow and Friday, and then Saturday it's going to break loose again.
so you may not work this weekend again either.
Yeah, we're not even going in there. At this point, with so few people on shift, we're doing downtown, and that's going to be pretty close to
Yeah, but if it rains, you can't.
Colin's not working?
I don't have enough people to work King William, so we're not doing King William. And we'll see if we do river trips, because that's very much weather related.
Yeah.
But we'll
Yeah.
see.
So, if you're in San Antonio and you want to go kayaking,
Mission Kayak.
Mission Kayak, check them out. They're really, really fun.
If any of you watch, and I don't, but if any of you watch Kid Craddock in the morning, it was a radio show, and now it's a TV show, I guess.
Who's kid? I've never heard of it, sorry.
So, many, many moons ago, it was a radio show called Kid Craddock in the morning. And now I guess it's a TV show in the morning. Either way, it's not one of those shows I watch, but Kid Craddock in the morning is coming to the San Antonio Riverwalk Friday morning, and I have a bunch of kayaks with people in it that are going to be going back and forth behind the scenes, so they're going to be on the Riverwalk doing their morning show, and we're going to be like
Little sign that says Mission Kayak.
Each one of the boats has my name plastered on it.
You should give
Awesome.
them little props. Put like a duck on front of one of them.
I think that's awesome.
Bumper boats.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you probably
but the idea is it's to support small business. So they're trying to get people to come visit San Antonio for those that are wanting to travel to come back and say, oh, look at how beautiful the Riverwalk, and while you're here, eat at this restaurant and go visit this place, and you can kayak. So
I think it's awesome.
It's
And
all
yes,
about-
you can kayak.
small business.
And do mission tours. You still do mission tours, right? Okay.
Shannon said a 7-year chapter came to a disappointing close, but she found her power in a new way.
That's awesome, Shannon. Congratulations. Finding your power is always, wow, major, actually. So, yeah, good for you.
And 7-year cycles come, your body replenishes itself every 7 years.
Uh-huh.
So,
You were just done.
yeah.
She also said she went kayaking over the weekend. I will have to keep that in mind. I will be kayaking at sunset in Virginia Beach next Thursday.
Ooh, nice.
Kayaking was very much my happy place, and now it is very much my job. Which I can still find some happiness in it, which is good.
Sometimes. Sometimes we just get people that make you go.
That's with any job, though.
Yeah.
But you see, if you don't love your job, there's no point in showing up. And you do love your job, so it's the and with every job, it's the people. They're the ones that are,
I have a good crew. Everybody, they come up and they're all nervous, and then they get on the water and they're nervous, and then they relax and they're having fun, and then they get off and they're like super excited and they're smiling.
You know what I mean, like I was.
Yep. So, it's much better than being the IT security engineer where if people saw you, that meant pretty much they were going to prison. Nobody liked to see you then.
No, I don't think so, yes.
That was my job before. I was an IT security engineer for a couple of 3-letter agencies and the Air Force. So, if you saw me or knew my name, things were not going your way. Because you had done some pretty bad stuff when we caught you. There are parts of me that do miss that job.
Oh, well, yeah, because you get to carry a big stick and you get people with it when you're IT security like that. Right?
I didn't carry nothing. I just sat in the background and caught them.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah. It was fun catching them. It was it's the game of cat and mouse, and they're trying to do one thing and they're...
Yeah.
Okay.
But still,
So let's see who we got.
So we got Richard, Bertie, Christina, and John Paul
4 readings.
for readings. And Sandra for Bertie as top 2.
Okay.
So if you want to go first.
Okay, who's first?
Richard.
Richard.
He said his week was amazing.
Oh, I'm glad it was amazing. delivered it to the office. They shouldn't have. I am anxiously awaiting a package.
I have a muscle twitch, and it will not go away. It's distracting. But that's
Okay.
what I wrote in case those.
Who
of you
was
that
it,
wanna know.
Bernie? No,
No,
Richard.
Richard.
Richard. The first card I have for you, Richard, is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is about listening, listening to spirit so that you can have something to work with. They can't work with you unless you're listening. And this is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is like, you're not stuck. It's okay. Turn around. Go back. Regroup. You're not stuck. It's a perception. Because you've got, this is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very much about, you're creative. You don't need to worry about what other people are doing. You only need to worry about what you're doing. You've got the power and the creativity to make anything you want happen. But you gotta not be stuck first. So you need to get out of that stuckness that you think that you're in. I hope that makes sense, sweetie. And if I insult anybody by calling them sweetie, oh well. Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, next is
Birdie.
Birdie.
Okay, Birdie, the first card I have for you is the Three of Visions. This is all about pulling your family or your clan close together. It's not about having a super big party, but it's just about pulling those that are very close to you and sort of celebrating. You made it, you got it. Take time to be thankful for those that are close and have supported you through everything. The second one I have for you is the Forge. This is all about everything you've gone through. So it's the good, the bad, the hot, the cold. Without all of that, you don't turn into your finer self. If you look, they started out with, coal and steel, and it went through the forging process, the hot, the water, the cold, the water, the fire, the water, and it turned into a nice sword. So this is all about accepting that with the good comes the bad, and it makes you a stronger person. The next one I have for you is the Two of Boons. This is all about the balancing act. If you see, he's walking across the bridge, sort of not paying attention, carrying a heavy load, and the ogre underneath the bridge is just waiting to eat him if he falls. So this is all about life, work balance, life, family balance. It's all about balance. So take time to enjoy with family and friends what you've been through. You got a little bit more to go through. Just keep an eye on, make sure that you got that family balance. So both of those are all about family. So, okay.
Family's a good thing.
Next is Krista. Christina.
Christina B.
Christina B. Yes.
Christine, this is for you. This is the Nine of Coins. The Nine of Coins is a lady who, don't do that, I will mess something up as soon as I touch it. The Nine of Coins is about a lady who is very self-sufficient. She can take care of herself. She's accomplished an awful lot, and
Here we go. No, my knee hurts less when I sit on it.
If I sat on my knee, it would never work again.
Exactly. If I sat like that, I'd be in the hospital. Enjoy it while the flexibility while you can. Christine, then we have the Temperance card. That's about patience. So very much is this the Nine of Coins, the lady who can take care of herself. She didn't get there overnight. She worked hard, and she had a lot of patience to do what she needed to do and to work on herself. And this is the Seven of Swords, but you need to be careful about, with everything else that you have accomplished here, there is always someone willing to take it away. So you need to be careful about the people you let into your life, if that makes any sense. The people you allow to have power in your life. Because there's almost always someone in your life who's willing to sneak around. And I think this might be work related, so you might want to make sure all your dots and I's are crossed and all that stuff. So patience is definitely called for, but you want to be watching for the people that are out to not be nice to you. I hope that makes sense, sweetheart.
All right, next is John.
Okay. John Paul. The first card I have for you is the Enchanter. This is the warlock who stands in his own right. He knows his magic, he knows his power. If you look, there's a ton of books behind him. There's an owl sitting back there. So he's done the hard work of educating himself and following through. And now he's able to work his own magic and stand in his own right. The next card I have for you is the Tin of Boons. This is the coming of an end. Great things. You know, you've done all the hard work, you put it together, and now there's time for a little bit of celebration. So the family comes together, you're going to reap the rewards, everybody's happy, everybody's warm, food, shelter, it's all well and good. And then the last one I have for you is the Forge. So while you're enjoying all of this, realize that there's still more work to do. For as much as I shuffled the deck 3 times and this card's come up twice out of 3 shuffles. So
wow, there's a theme going on tonight. Yeah.
So I think yours is Temperance, mine is the Forge. Either way,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's all about working on yourself, working on your magic, working on your college, your skills, whatever you need, dealing with the good and the bad. So this is all about, you did great things, you've got the magic, enjoy it, and there's still more work to be done.
Yep. Alright, next is Krista.
Krista. Trying to figure out what all that noise is about.
And she is the last person we have on our list for readings right now, so if you want a reading and we do not have you down, just let us know.
And right now, we've only got one person that wants to talk to the other side.
Rudy for Sandra Seacrest.
So if anybody else, either you want a reading or you want to talk to somebody on the other side, let us know.
Do you know what Spirit just told me?
What?
That because there's only one person that wants to talk to someone on the other side, it's an excellent opportunity to practice channeling. So one of us needs to do some channeling tonight.
That sounds like you.
And I'm like, I know it does, and I'm like, yeah.
I want to do
We've
that.
got to drive, so it's on you, sweetheart.
Channeling doesn't involve drinking.
I didn't say it involved drinking, it's just very taxing, draining. So,
I mean, I can do it, she can drive.
true. Okay, I'll
Alright,
leave
so
it.
it's on the 2 of us.
I've never done it
Okay,
before, so
I've never-
who am I
well-
going to do it with?
Well,
We'll learn.
anyway, let me finish this before my brain goes off.
Oh, another person.
Krista, the first card I have for you is the Judgment card. The Judgment is about realizing that you can rise from the ashes. You don't have to sit there feeling guilty or ashamed about something because, or regret about something because you're not. Okay, my spirit totally threw me off when they said time to channel, and I'm like, totally threw me off. But anyway, the Judgment card is about knowing that you're not beyond redemption, that no matter what it is you're feeling or not feeling, you can change that simply because of the way you react to things. But you've also reached, this is the Ten of Swords, you've come to the end of a phase. It's done, it's over with, there's no going back, there's no renegotiation, just move forward, sweetheart. Just, it's okay, let it go. Wow, another 10, which makes 20, which is the same as the Judgment card. Interesting. Also the end of a phase, but this is you have reached the pinnacle of joy and happiness for the stage that you're in. Now it's time to move on to the next phase, to the next levels, like you've graduated elementary school, now you're going to middle school. Isn't that wonderful? So it's also a time to not look back, to keep going and realize that tomorrow's another day. Whatever mistakes were made, don't worry about it, because tomorrow's another day. I hope that makes sense, because it's totally meaningless to me.
I've been fighting with that one the last 2 weeks.
Letting things go.
There's some things I have control over, and there's some things I don't, and I will I'm like, look, beat yourself up all you want, but if people aren't applying, you're not filling the job positions, so.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, there's only so much in this world that you can control.
Yeah.
You know, you can control what goes in, and you can control what you speak and what you think. That's just about it.
Some be better than others.
Yes, I know.
Okay. So the next one I have is Katina. Katina, the first one I have for you is the Six of Visions. This is all about being childish and daydreamy. You're not paying attention to reality. You've got your head in the clouds. They're saying, wake up and look around. Spirit is offering you gifts, and you're not paying attention to them. You're not looking, you're not paying attention. I keep hearing, pay attention, God bless you.
Thank you.
Pay attention.
I'm trying not to sneeze.
That's what I thought until you were like, God bless you. I was like, don't channel now.
No, that's okay.
Wrong time.
Alright, the next one after you is the Enchanter. This is saying that you have everything you need within you. Stop looking outside. Stop looking to everybody else. You are the one that has control over your destiny. No one else is going to be able to do it for you. You already have the ability, the magic, which isn't the right word. You have the ability, the know-how to do what you need to do. You just need to buck up and do it. Which is a totally, see that card? Totally different reading what I was being told in the last one.
Most cards are like that. They mean different things to different people in different situations.
And the Child of Spells, this one is about, you think you're lost, but you're not. Sit down, reflect, do some, my husband calls it thinking, drinking, but don't do the drinking part. Sit down and do some
Shadow work,
sitting thinking. So yeah, it's all about, if you notice, both of these cards are child cards, and both of them are sort of lost and not paying attention to the real world. So you can fix your issues, but you need to grow up and actually like take charge of it. Okay. Next.
Next.
For
Kelsey.
Kelsey?
Trying to see if your package came.
Yes.
Do you want me to go? I can't.
No, you can't. And I'm looking at what may have happened. I was expecting a package today, and I'm checking my ring, and no one has delivered a package yet to my house today.
good, so let's do the cards.
Oh, shut up.
Someone's got to try to keep us on task.
Oh, and that's you today, is it? Well, it's actually you most of the time. It really is. I mean, seriously.
It's the bossy in me.
She's bossy.
Yeah, and she needs to be, because sometimes we get out of hand.
She's bossy too.
Yeah, who do I get it from?
Both me and your dad. Okay.
So I'm extra bossy.
Who was next?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
I get my stubbornness from my parents and I get my bossiness from my parents.
But it will serve you well because we're both.
Yes, it will serve you well. Kelsey, the first card I have for you is the Nine of Swords. It's been hard. No, the Nine of Wands. Sorry. It's been hard. It's been very hard what you've been going through. But know that you're almost to the end. You're almost reached the point of where you can say, relax and party and have a good time and take care of the things that you've neglected for a while. So this is also the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is like, yes, we're moving. It's now just, you get moving. It's time to start moving again. And start the recovery and healing process. I have zero idea what that means. I hope that's helpful to you. But it's about getting moving again. Yes, ma'am?
Alright, so who?
The last person for reading.
We'll give it a minute. Exactly, yes. And let's see, read off who we have for who, and we can give people
So
more
we have
time
Sandra Seacrest for Birdie. Ruby.
No, Birdie for Sandra Seacrest.
Technically, your mom is right. It's the boss in her.
Sandra for Birdie.
No.
Ruby.
You're fine. She's fine. Let her go. Sandra's the crossed over.
Yes.
So this person
Sandra
wants to talk to
for Birdie.
No.
No.
I see how she's got it in her mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ruby for John. Michael for Krista. Spirit guides for both Katina and Kelsey. That's what we've got.
Totally backwards.
To you. I get it. I get both ways.
It makes.
It's all right.
I don't get what she's saying, but it makes sense in my head.
Because Birdie wants to talk to Sandra. Sandra didn't come through.
No,
and be
but look,
like,
yes, but
Sorry.
Sandra for Birdie. For Birdie wants to talk to Sandra. So Sandra for Birdie.
Birdie is fine times. Okay, keep going. So
Who's right?
Hey, Jessica.
She's confusing.
Well, look at that, Jessica. You won because I was next on the list to do readings. So, and for those of you that don't know, Jessica has the most adorable set of animals, but she has a black kitten that now it's a cat, that used to be one of our
Lucifer.
foster babies, and she named him Lucifer.
Lucifer Meowing Star.
Yes.
Meowing Star?
Meowing Star. No, Meowing Star. From
like Morning Star, but
I get it. I get
from
it.
the TV show.
Well, it's actually Lucifer's name is Lucifer Morningstar.
Yeah.
The actual angel's name. Okay. Not just the TV show character.
And he's living up to being an angel because he's watching over her old pug who's started getting blind. So he'll go out at night and sit and watch over the pug as it goes to the farm.
Oh,
So
that's sweet.
And he'll
Here,
fall,
I aired all your animal air there, Jessica.
and he'll fall off of saddles.
Cool. Okay, Jessica, the first one I have for you is the Six of Visions. This is all about daydreaming and not paying attention to what's going on around you. Sometimes daydreams can be good, but this is more like you're focused on one thing and Spirit's trying to offer you a bunch of other gifts. If you look, there's a kingfisher, there's dragonflies, there's all sorts of gifts, and she's too busy with her head in the books, which is ironic because I know you're a numbers geek. So Spirit is saying, look outside the books and actually look at the gifts and the offerings they're sending your way.
Don't be logical, be creative.
Yes. The second one I have for you is the Four of Challenges. This is saying that you've got a bit of a respite. It's been a little hard the last little bit, and it's going to be hard afterwards. But for now, you've come through all the pokey bushes and the cold, and you've got this wonderful little tree you can sit under, and it's warm, and you can eat the berries and take a little bit of a break before you move on in your journey and you're back to sort of the grind. So enjoy this small, quiet little respite. Speaking of respite, the next one is the Keeper of Visions. This is all about not dealing with the turmoil up the top. You and I kayak all the time. You know, when you're at the top of everything, it's much calmer underneath the water than it is the swirlies up at the top. Like the eddy line that sucks you if you're not careful. So what this card is saying is dive down, find the quiet and the peace below. Don't get all caught up in the fluffies and stupid. Don't get caught up in the stupidity. There you go.
There's a lot of that nowadays.
Yeah. So whatever's going on that's frustrating and stupid, duck down, find your respite, go for a horseback ride, go kayaking, just leave all of that up there that they're arguing and complaining over to themselves.
That sounds like good advice.
Yes.
Ignore the age.
Or just sit back and watch them because they're funny.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like to take the opportunity to thank those of you who made donations to my PayPal account, and to Christine Graham, who helped me shop over the weekend for a backdrop that will be here eventually, that we will be using shortly, as soon as I get it all together. But no, I thank you. You've sponsored our show, you've helped us with some equipment, and we are extremely grateful to those of you who did. Christine and Shannon specifically, because you've been just marvelous, truly has.
And just so you know, we don't get paid to do this.
No, we don't get
Whatever
paid.
bits and pieces come in, we actually use it to upgrade equipment, buy backgrounds. We don't even use it to like buy cards or anything. We use it to actually
Yeah,
be
it's
better for the show.
it's just show expenses that we use it for. So Christine donated some. Well, she bought them for us, a pair of curtains for us to use as a backdrop, and what money we do have in the PayPal account from you guys making donations is going towards studio lights and another webcam kind of thing, because like 2 is not enough. So, but yeah, we appreciate, we do not take a salary, we enjoy doing it, we do it for you guys, so that's, thank you.
So let's move on to the spirits.
Spirits. But this one might go a little fast today.
Is,
Sandra Seacrest.
yes.
Here for Birdie.
Well, we know Birdie's here for Sandra because Birdie told us, so you have to ask the other way. Huh?
Is Sandra here for Birdie?
I know.
Are you asking or playing?
Both. Replying to her and asking.
So what is Sandra saying?
I'm getting nothing.
She's the one in the yellow, right?
Yes. And I'm getting nothing either. Are you getting something?
I just saw her, but I'm not.
I'm getting like zero, nothing.
She's like here and gone.
Maybe she's busy.
Yeah, to me she always shows up in this yellow mohair sweater. And it was one of those things like, yep, she came in and she left. I have no clue. Oh, it's somebody's feet. We're hearing strange noises. That's not spirit. I'm sorry, Birdie. I'm not getting anything. She was here and she left. So
it's sort of like
She needs the
you called but didn't answer. Is that a way to put it? Like we called and she showed and then left. It wasn't like.
It's like when they pick up the phone and go,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
feel like
She
it
was
today.
yeah,
She popped in and then left. It was like.
Oh, because they want to know about her murder. Maybe she's not ready to talk about it? Because usually she hangs around for a little bit. But this time she was like,
If it's because you wanted to know about her murder, she already gave me that information months ago, and I am not passing it along because nobody needs to know that. I'm sorry. It's not about it's not about who murdered her. It is about that she's at peace. She's told her story, and no one else needs to know. So it's make sure it's not locked, please.
The back door is not locked? Oh.
So she's at peace with it, and she just wants everyone else to be at peace with it too. Next.
Next is, did he give me a death date for her?
For Ruby, for John, okay.
I got no death date from John about Ruby.
John, when did Ruby pass, please?
Because we both need both their full name and date of death.
I am really nauseous right now.
Too much chocolate milk?
No, it was when I started drinking the tea.
Is it bad?
No, it's fresh.
So
I was also sick last week. Nobody noticed. I mean, I was like on the couch, didn't move for 3 full days, sick, kind of sick.
You texted back and forth with me. I didn't know.
also
2013.
2013. Okay. And Melinda, just tell us, hey, I want a reading.
Yeah.
And then, or you want to talk to someone.
If you want to talk to someone on the other side, we need their full name and their date of death. Or you can say, I want to talk to my spirit guide. If you want a reading, all you have to do is just type in the word reading, and we'll do a reading. So.
Yep. So Ruby Moreno, who died 1/27/2013.
We'll get you, Melinda. We'll come back to the readings once we're done with the spirit side of.
Is Ruby available to talk with John? I'm getting, Ruby says she has some questions, and that's kind of unusual. Usually it's the other way around. What is it, Ruby, that you want to ask John? She wants to know if you remember what you did with it. I don't know what it is. She's not elaborating on what it is, but she wants to know that you know what you did with it. Sometimes they ask, sometimes it gets a little weird. This is one of those times. The nausea is not mine, by the way. It's somebody else's. I am very much a physical medium, so sometimes I will take on stuff that isn't mine, and somebody has come in with some nausea that's not mine. And I wish they would not do this. It is not Ruby, however. Ruby, do you have anything else for John? John, would that make sense that she's like, do you remember what you did with it? Because that's all she's asking about. So she did come in, but she's...
He said, I left a cardboard sign in place of her headstone.
So maybe she wants to know what you did with the headstone?
No, I'm thinking the cardboard sign.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, it was like... So she apparently... Okay, Ruby, are we talking about the cardboard sign? I'm getting a yes. Do you still have it, John?
He said he left it Saturday.
Do you, Ruby, is there
So did you leave the cardboard sign next to a headstone, or did you?
In place of her headstone.
Yeah, so where did her headstone go? Is that what she's asking?
He said, I left a message for my mom and uncles. Is the cardboard sign her headstone?
No, that's not what she's referring to. It's something else, something from a long time ago.
Piece of jewelry, maybe?
Yeah, like maybe an inheritance of some kind, or something you had that the two of you shared that was important to you at the time. I think she wants to know, do you still have it? Does that make sense? Because it's not about the headstone. It's not about the cardboard sign. It's about something from your childhood. Will help here?
I got nothing. It's gonna be one of those nights for me, apparently.
I'm sorry, John, that is all I'm getting. She's sort of fixated on whatever that was from childhood.
Her grandfather's wedding ring?
You know, he said, I sold my grandfather's wedding ring.
I was just asking that was.
Well, I don't think she cares about that. That's not what I'm getting.
No, it's not that.
No.
Might be like a necklace?
Do you know what I see?
Uh-oh.
Which makes literally no sense?
What?
A stuffed rabbit.
Oh, that's cute.
It is cute. I see a stuffed rabbit.
Maybe she's got my phone bag, so I need these.
Okay, so how do you find the...
You can't watch it on your. You can't watch.
I can't
it
watch
on
myself?
You
No.
can't watch your live.
I want to watch myself.
So it says, I sold my grandfather's wedding ring to buy a headstone, but was told to split up the money. There you go.
I don't think it's about the headstone. Like I said, I was seeing like a stuffed rabbit.
Childhood
A
toy?
childhood.
Like a childhood toy. Something that,
A comfort thing.
yeah, a comfort thing that the two of you shared together, or that she gave you, or that, something along those lines. It's not about the headstone or your grandfather's ring. My father still doesn't have a headstone, and he died when I was 12, so there you go, it's not important. And splitting up the money is a good thing, because that's much more useful. Because the people who were gone before, who are ancestors, our deceased loved ones, they're at peace, they don't need a headstone, they don't need anything except to know that you still love them and acknowledge them. That's just about all they need, or want. They don't, when you've been living a very,
As you say, all the material stuff on
Yeah.
earth, honoring them is for our benefit, not their benefit. If you set an ancestral plate, that means just as much to them as, if not more, than having a burial spot and a headstone.
yeah. Because they just want to still be part of our lives. So, that's all I'm getting, John, sorry. Who's next?
Michael, for Krista, who died either April or May of 20.
Is Michael available to talk with Krista? Considering I now have a raging headache, and I'm hearing vroom vroom, so I'm thinking, was there a motorcycle involved? Or a head injury or something? This is going to be one of those nights where they're not talking to me, they're making me feel stuff. Hate it when they make me feel
I
stuff.
didn't like nothing tonight. So it's almost on you, though.
Why aren't you open?
I don't have a reason not.
Here, I'll do this.
Okay.
And you guys take care of that, maybe. Hello, Mary Pat.
I was open earlier because there was a lot of shit in our friend's house.
Was there?
Yeah. Brand new house, but there was like 3 things there. One is
You
like,
get to stay there by yourself for a few nights.
none of them are bad. One's like a little white cat that kept running around. It was cute.
So Krista says he liked motorcycles and he committed suicide in his truck.
It might be why I'm getting a headache.
Yeah.
Was it
Something.
carbon monoxide poisoning?
You know, it was something to the head. Literally, something to the head, because I'm feeling it really bad. And I wish you would back off, please, Michael. Because it's not a pleasant feeling. Yes, it is. It is. It's like my head is in a vice. I got nauseous earlier, now my head's in a vice. And it's like, dang. It's being a physical medium crap. It's difficult sometimes. So, Michael, do you have, Krista obviously wants to hear from you. Do you have anything? What is that?
What is what?
That's what.
Something keeps rolling across the screen at the bottom.
I see that too, and I don't know what it is. Like, I'll
Thank
look away
God,
and then
it's
it'll
not
move, and I'll go.
Yeah, okay.
Do you guys see anything rolling across the screen?
It looks like the new tip
crazy.
thing is like vanishing and reappearing.
But yet I saw it move off this way.
I'm gonna watch it.
You watched the new tip thing. Krista, I'm getting that he said, I saw what you did and that was good. I don't know what that was, but he was pleased with what you did. I don't know if it's directly related to him or if it is, headache is easing up, thank you, or if it is related to something in the family. But he says he saw what you did. No one else saw it, but he did. And he is very pleased with you for that, whatever it was you did. Okay. Thank you, Krista. Next.
Katina for her spirit guides. And
That
those-
one I did get earlier.
Okay.
That was loud and clear, like they say.
That was loud and clear. Okay.
Yeah, because I got distracted. What was it?
Could Christina's guides come back and talk with Kaci, please?
Real quick. What was her reading about?
Because
Because I think they
They
spoke.
came through.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
what
all
they
about.
said.
This was the one. That was her reading, which you wrote.
No, I wrote that
In response to you.
I was confused what you were.
Okay,
like,
You know,
well,
there
that
are
was pretty
times around here.
That was pretty much her reading. Her reading was about.
you messed up.
You
No
need-
one else can fix it for you. Stop being scared to do it. Do it yourself or it's never going to get better. You let yourself do this. No one else. People might, what's it called? Enable. But you're the one doing it.
So, Kelsey, you either get to talk to your spirit guides or you get to talk to your uncle. We only do one. You don't get both. So make a choice and let us know which one you'd prefer. You either want to talk to Stephen or you want to talk to your spirit guides. So let me know
Also,
which one.
Katina, you know you can ask your spirit guides for help. They're always there to help you, but they can't help you unless you ask them. So it's vitally important that you create. I know why that's dark, and it's not like I have it on reduced brightness. Oh, jeez. I'm going to drive myself insane one day, I swear. But your spirit guides are like, basically says, you got to ask us if you want some help.
But they can't like if you drop something. They're not going to be like, oh, I've got it. Or like if you trip, they're not going to be like, oop, we got you. They're not like physically there to help you. Like they won't pick up a rock.
They will put things in your
Your
path to assist, but if you don't, it's like, oh, you need a pen. Well, there's a pen, but if you don't pick up that pen, then it's never going to get written. So Spirit will help you on the fact that, geez, you want to write something, here's a pen.
And if you
But you actually have to pick it up and write it. So that's the best
and they
way
get
to
pretty
describe it.
frustrated when they put something in your path and you go left with it. They get pretty mad when you do that.
Yeah, they arrange things for us that's going to be in our best interest, but if we don't,
Take it and go
yeah.
the way they want it, they're probably going to be a little bit more hesitant to help next time.
Well, yes and no. It's their job to help us, but
They don't want you to do the same thing.
if we don't, exactly, they won't give you the same opportunity again, that's for sure. What they will do is, the lessons, if you're not getting it, the lessons will become harder and much more dramatic. For instance, they put, say, a love interest in your path and you ignore them. They're like, okay, let's do this again. So they put another person in your path and you ignore them. And eventually you're just going to have to say, oh, dang, and hit yourself over the head with something before they do, because they will. Like maybe I'm not paying enough attention to what's going on, to what's going on that they can, that they've been doing for you and you've been ignoring.
Continue, read it.
Alright, I know I have asked them to step in and lead me, guide me, and I allow them to do its best for me or guide me as they see fit.
Well, that's good, except if you're not seeing this.
They can't do it all for you.
Why won't that come out?
Because you know, for once she has a filter.
This child's gonna die. You've been trying to get cell phone. For what she has a filter
Out of the mouth of babes.
We're sorry, guys. For those of you who know me, that you know that I have no filters. I will tell it like I see it, regardless of whether you like it or not. And I've lost friends because of that. But I forgot what I was saying. Is you need to see the signs and accept their help, not just ask them to do it. You need to go the direction they're telling you to go. Okay, I'm moving on now.
So, Bertie, I got your question. We'll come back to it when we're done, because it's actually a really good question. And I bet you we're going to have two sort of different answers on this one.
Oh, I bet you we will.
Yeah,
Three if we include her.
Yeah. Okay.
Except for when
So
you
they
have
went to
opinions.
Tina's. Okay. Kelsey wants to talk to Stephen, who died 5 of 19.
Stephen Gwynn?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. He was here earlier.
Really? Go ahead.
He was. I don't know. He spoke for someone else. He was here earlier. He popped in for a little bit and then left. He didn't saying nothing. He was just like, okay. Oh, I'm not.
What are the people just dropping in and leaving? Not even saying anything? Sorry, I picked up your little stone. I wanted to feel it.
You're okay. I know. I got some interesting.
It is really, you're not supposed to go play with anyone else's stones without their permission, but
You're welcome to.
she's, 17 and I can.
And I'm proud of my stones.
Yes, you are.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Stephen, would you like to come back and talk with, is it Kelsey?
Kelsey.
He said no, but I will.
Well, thank you.
He's like, no. Fine. Sorry.
I was about to get very flip right there. So he's apparently the one talking to you tonight. What does Stephen have to tell Kelsey?
He said, don't do it. He said, whatever you're thinking about doing, don't do it. Or if you do, be very cautious.
And don't get caught? Is that the lesson? Don't get caught?
Don't get caught up in it, probably, but not don't get caught. But just be cautious.
And what is...
Think about it before you go do what you want to do.
Stephen, do you have another clue about what she might be doing that you don't want her to do?
trying. It's a little harder for me. I'm still learning.
I know that you're sitting here. I give this stuff to you because I'm not getting anything. So
Try it.
it's okay.
It's like listening
You get
to
what
Charlie
you get.
Brown. It's like listening to Charlie Brown adults sometimes. It's like, wah, 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 wah.
Yes,
And
it
then-
is very much like listening to
And
that.
then you have people who are like, yes, I understand you. Like in the things where the kids are like, I can understand you. Yes, ma'am. Blah blah blah. And then we're just like,
It's not always easy to understand them, trust me.
speak the human language that I'm speaking.
It's hard for them.
I know it is.
It's hard for them to reduce their vibration down so that we can hear them. It's hard for us to take our vibration up so we can hear them. So is there anything else you want us to say before we move on? Other than don't do it, or be careful when you do it?
Shit, never mind.
Apparently you're going to do it anyway, so,
He's being very sarcastic today. Very just like, because first he's like, no, fine.
Well, that would be like a brother-uncle kind of.
Seem childish. Then he's like, no, screw it, never mind. I'm done.
Does that fall under the category of you're not going to listen anyway? So I
He
mean,
told
yeah.
no. Probably.
He told you don't do it, and then he was like, oh, yeah, you're going to do it anyway, so. All right, so the last one is Melinda Cox for her spirit guide.
Melinda, your spirit guides, one of them, the one I'm seeing anyway, is a very pious and reverent nun. I'm seeing a nun. Okay, she said her function is largely to keep you on the straight and narrow, to keep you from screwing up so badly. To which we all do. I mean, I'm not pointing fingers or anything. Just
We're human.
We do.
make mistakes.
And so she's not strict. I don't get that she is strict or harsh, but she's saying sometimes you give her a run for her money, so to speak.
You ever see the bumper? I got the bumper sticker in my head. You know the bumper sticker that says, don't drive faster than your angels can fly? As soon as you said that, that's like what shot in my head. Like, you give her a run for her money, you're doing things where she's like, no, you shouldn't. So.
Like a teacher trying to wrangle a toddler. No, this way, stop. Get that out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Kind of like that. So like the typical elementary school nun, I guess, although I didn't go to Catholic school, so. But yeah, that she's very happy working with you. It's just sometimes she's like, you don't listen.
That seems to be a theme on tonight.
Seems to be a theme tonight.
I get like
Yeah.
what? Like in the nun cartoons in the movies where they got that that ruler. I mean, you don't listen to like flappy. They don't do that nowadays though. They don't even yell at you. They just
How do you know? You don't go to Catholic school.
no. Teachers nowadays don't do that.
They can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my teacher friend in Wisconsin was telling me that they're now under orders to never, ever fail a child.
Are you Mom, we need to go to Wisconsin.
They cannot fail children in Wisconsin. They have to accommodate all of their learning stuff, their learning abilities, their learning style. If the child is behind, you have to go extra effort. So, yeah, if you're failing in Wisconsin, you cannot fail school. You will be passed to the next grade no matter what.
That is.
It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my
Back
life.
to spirit guides.
Yep.
Well, we got into the nun thing, and it's not, she's small, she's a real small person, she's probably about 4 foot, and if I had to put human qualities to her, she's just like, hold your hands, and she's like 4 foot, might weigh 80 pounds. But I have a feeling that she's just doing this with her little habit.
Is she holding something?
She could be. Are you holding something or just
Is
holding
it like
your hands?
purple?
Ooh, could it be a rock? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anything. She's holding her hands like this.
I don't know. I've had purple the whole time she's been here.
Well, maybe it's a purple habit.
Maybe
I
it
don't
is.
know.
No, it's just been purple. And purple means power.
Yes, it does. Also means royalty.
Yes, and loyalty.
So the next question is,
We got 2 people to do readings for.
okay, what was her name again? Cox? Michelle? I can't
Melinda.
see from here.
Melinda Cox.
Melinda Cox. Melinda, do you know what your spirit guides, your intimate ones, do you know who they are, what they look like? And have we hit the mark on this one, or is this somebody new coming in to express to you
New ones are
they're there? New ones are cool. New ones are cool. I had snakes show up again today. They were crawling out of the floor this time.
We've had snakes all over our house.
Really?
Yeah.
Real ones?
Yes.
Real ones, where?
And they sign in the yard.
It's not in the house.
I said by the house.
Oh,
By the house.
In the where?
On the side of the house where the garbage is.
You know, I've never seen. I go out there barefoot
Looking for
hunting
snakes.
for snakes. The chickens find them, the kids find them. I do not find the stinking snakes.
There was a snake about this big that was dark brown. I almost caught it, but we didn't know what it was, so I didn't.
We had 2 out by the dumpster the other day. They were dead, but they were like really silvery, shiny, about that long.
So if that's what they are, they're called blind earth snakes.
They're so
That's what I was thinking. They had
Yeah.
a little pointed nose.
Yeah.
They didn't. It was a snake, but it was a little
Yeah,
pointed nose.
they're blind earth snakes, and they actually eat ants
And they look like
termites
worms.
and stuff like that. And
They're my favorite. I love to hold them. They're cute. And
Cool. Okay, good.
they're
For you.
non-venomous.
They look like worms.
Yeah.
Snakes, by the way, are one of my totems. So when snake shows up, I know that I'm in for some changes. All right. So the next person is.
Melinda says she's never had a reading before.
Oh, okay. Well, when talking about spirit guides, you have no way of validating if it's right or not unless you specifically work on talking to your own spirit guides. So all I can tell you is a nun to me would represent ritual, would represent learning, would represent,
Discipline.
yes, spiritual discipline. Yes, there you go. So she's probably there to keep you on the straight and narrow with spiritual discipline. We got one of the things out.
Melinda wants a reading, and so does Mary Pat. So
Okay.
it was your turn. So if you want to do Melinda,
Okay, Melinda.
I'll do Mary Pat. And Melinda's a card reading newbie.
Oh, you never had a card reading either.
Yes. There was another term I was going to use, and I thought it was funny, but some people might find it offensive. So
Thank
I'll
you.
go with newbie.
Newbie. Like cards and cadavers or something?
No,
Cards and
croakers.
Cards and croakers. Cadavers works too, but that makes you think that there's a body there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Cards and croakers. That was from last week, sorry guys.
Like a little inside joke now.
Cards and croakers.
Alright, Melinda. We have the World card. The World card is very much about you've reached the end of one phase and it's time to go to the next level. It is also about you need to make plans when doing that. You need to make sure you know where you're headed to I see the concept I wanted to convey in my mind and it just won't come through. It's like, make your plans, you've graduated, now it's time to get the job done. But you need to make the plans before you can do that. I don't know why I want to, anyway. This isn't the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is about, don't worry about what's behind you. Deal with the things you have at hand. Deal with what you still have, not what the losses in life. The losses in life, they're gone. Don't worry about them. And then we have, the beginning and the end, we have the Fool. The Fool is about stepping out in faith, stepping out in knowing that you can't fail as long as you don't fail to take action. So whatever it is you want to do, go ahead and do it, but do it with a plan. Just don't go willy-nilly about stuff. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, Mary Pat, these have got to be read all at the exact same time. That's what I'm being told. It's not like this and this and this.
Not like I read them, yeah.
Yeah, and because you're backwards, let's see if I can do it backwards so you can understand it. All right. These are the ones I pulled. I pulled the Tin of Boons. I pulled the Liar, which is the Devil card, and then I pulled the Four of Vision. What they're saying is there's somebody in your family. See how that looks like a family? Usually this means like the end of a journey and you get to the note. For this one, it means there's someone in your family that is trying to backstab, lie, and cheat you. Whoever this person is not happy with themselves and they are melancholy. Watch out for them. They're not going to be nice to you. It's not going to go good your way, and it's actually a family member. How many times have I ever done a reading like that?
Not that I can think
Not
of.
that I can think of. But, so Spirit wants you to know, watch out for the melancholy liar. And they're part of the family, because they're going to try to...
We need your dun-dun-dun notification.
Yes. With that said, Mary Pat, if you can figure out who this is and what's going on, message us sometime.
Yeah, really. Let us know.
Yeah, because that's a reading that I've never done before when it came up. When I was like, what does this mean? Because usually it's like, it's the end of a journey and you get to reap the rewards. And they're like, no, it's family. And it's a specific person who's going to lie and cheat and try to hurt. And I'm like, oh, okay. So keep an eye out, Mary Pat.
Half of your card reading is also intuition or a psychic impression. So it's going to be different each time. It's kind of like interesting.
Okay.
All right. Bernie had a question. What was it?
It says, are spirit guides the same as angels? So I'll answer. I'll let you go first.
From my understanding and what I have come to know in life, no, they are totally different. They don't have to be, but they are different. Your spirit guides are entities who have, sometimes it's a family member that has crossed over. Sometimes it is, could be a lower angel. Sometimes it can be from another dimension. Sometimes it's just someone who sees your light and they've been assigned to you because they screwed up and you're their punishment or their reward. And sometimes they've just volunteered. They can be lesser angels. They can be archangels. They can be other entities or other beings from other dimensions or other planets.
I go one step further. So angels are very much a religious concept and not necessarily, yes, they're spiritual, but they are very much a religious construct. So for me, angels are different than spirits, but spirits can be angels. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting deep on this one. And the reason that is you ever watch It's a Wonderful Life? And the angel got his wings. So it was a spirit that was there that the whole point for him to get to the next level was to help, what was his name? George Bailey. So he was assigned, and that wasn't too far off.
He was like an angel in training.
In training, yeah. But so as we're learning on this level of existence, spirits are learning on that level of existence. And sometimes helping us is the way they learn, just like helping others on this is the way we learn. So
said it way better than I did. Yes, I agree with that.
as soon as I was thinking of it, I saw that whole George Bailey scene where it was like God in the universe, and they brought in George Bailey in that whole conversation.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. It was like, oh yeah, that's a good way. Because most people, not everybody, but most people have seen It's a Wonderful Life. And if you haven't, it's a Christmas movie that's really good.
I can't watch it.
Makes you cry.
I start crying halfway through the movie and I don't stop for 2 hours.
So,
Seriously, I do. I don't watch romance movies. I don't watch
see,
tearjerkers.
it doesn't.
No,
that bothers
no.
me.
Romance movies are lame.
So,
Or movies are great.
angels can guide you. Spirit guides can guide you. I've met 3 or 4 of my spirit guides. 2 of which are come off. They're Native American. My healer is very much Native American, and there's a new one that first time I saw him, I haven't worked with him much. He had the whole, like, Tatanka headdress. He had the whole buffalo, and he was very, intimidating is not the word, I don't get intimidated very easily, but he was very dominant. And he was just like, I am here now.
He's the reason you're so bossy.
No, he's new, and I don't know why. Anyway.
I have a shaman. We all have supposedly 7 main guides, one of which will be an Indian. Either a shaman or a chief or a warrior, but they're all Native American for some reason or another. And it depends on which tradition you buy into.
And Bertie wants to know, everybody has spirit guides. At least, what, 7?
7, at least 7, sometimes a lot more than that.
Yeah. And I don't remember off the top of my head. One is your head spirit guide, one is a gatekeeper, one is a health and well-being, one's a, what are the other 3?
Your gatekeeper. The way I learned it was the gatekeeper was your master guide, the one who keeps all the other stuff away if you ask them. It's the one that they get to you through him or her, it, whatever. And then there's a doctor or a chemist. There's an Indian. There's a child. There's a 2 more.
Is a
3 more.
protector?
Well, you
I don't recall. Your child would be your joy guide. You can look it up online. It's the Universalist, not is the National Association of Spiritualist Churches are the ones that Lilydale. There you go. Look Lilydale. They're the ones that's where Lilydale is run by the NSAC, which is, if you don't know what Lilydale is, we all need to do a field trip. Seriously.
Melinda, there's some YouTube meditations where you can make contact with your spirit guide, so you need to meditate. But you can actually, on YouTube, look up. There's quite a few that are really good. I use a couple of different ones. Half the time I can't find the same one twice, which upsets me.
Yeah.
Go to your watch history. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Old people.
So yeah, Melinda, if you go, you can actually...
one more child, you're gonna die.
You can actually go to YouTube and do a meditation to actually be in contact with your spirit guide.
Yeah, they're guided, there's unguided, there's ones with... YouTube is the most fabulous place for guided meditations.
One of the first ways I'm actually met mine was Edith Mary. She did a guided meditation.
Same.
So if you don't want to go with some unknown person talking to you through YouTube and you want someone you trust to guide you down the right path, I'm always like, wow, if I'm really meditating, how do I know they're not putting a little idea in my head? But anyway.
They do all the time.
That's right. So, Edith Mary can also, if you hook up an appointment with her,
we need to do like a group guided
meditation
guides thing,
Oh,
along with the quarterly, or do like this stuff live.
Melinda, for doing the private reading sometime next week, message Edith Mary. She's got all of that. She does most of them. Kaci and I will do them every once in a while. But all of that goes through Edith Mary, and then you can choose whoever you want.
And I don't do tarot readings. I do medium work.
Yes. So there's the answer to that one. Oh, Corey Cummings wanted a card reading.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
mine is a little, what's it called?
No.
No, I know two of mine. One's literally like a gnome that lives on my shoulder, which is weird. Been there forever.
I have parking lot angels or guides who find me primo spots at Walmart. Just saying.
I need a parking guide that makes me park better.
Right.
My parking is atrocious.
Here's Kaci in the parking lot. I'm in the parking lot and I'm turning. She doesn't like look ahead and go, that's the parking spot I want, and get to it and turn. She's just like, turn, and then she ends up, like here's the parking spot. She ends up like this, or like this, or like
And then I'll back. And if I back in, I'm pretty good at backing in.
Actually, you are. You backed
Yeah.
in my car and you did it perfect.
And that's because when you back in, you have to see the spot
You do.
and make that conscious effort to back in. When you're doing it forward, it's just like out of the blue. You'll pass 20 empty spots and
I don't
then...
want to park next to
one.
someone.
So,
I'm pretty
anyway,
away from them.
go ahead and read. We got sidetracked again.
Yes, we always get sidetracked.
So,
It's
yeah.
part of our charm. And it's also, Spirit does that to us at times. We know storms do it.
That was a bad night.
That was a bad night, yes.
Okay, Corey.
Corey, thank you. You also have the Fool card. Take a chance. Take a chance. Step out in some faith and take a chance. Stop being, this is the 5, what is that, a 5? It's a 5. The 5 of Swords. Stop being, the squirrel moments are messing you up. Are you laughing at me?
No, I'm trying to figure it out just in case. That's for us.
Is that for us?
The squirrel moments are
And the last one I have for you, Corey, is the 3 of Coins. The 3 of Coins says, you know, you're really on your way towards mastering your craft or being good at what you have to do or being the master at it. But these squirrel moments are messing you up. And then just take a chance on something. Take a chance on something new, something you've never done before. Take a chance on that other person. Just do it. Just do it.
Bertie asked if we think that the zodiac signs you were born under is pretty accurate.
I'm a Leo. That is
God, yes.
Yes.
Yes, but there's also what you might call shadow signs.
No, there's
Yeah.
rising and then there's...
No.
So-
She's not, does something. Yeah, go ahead.
So, how in the heck do you explain this one? There's your normal Aquarius signs, and then if you have usually a mental illness or something where you're not in line with who you should be, you are the exact opposite of your sign. Is that the way you would explain it?
Not exactly. It's you have the sign. I am so typical of a Taurean, it is not even funny.
So is my husband.
Yes.
They're
And
both very
I
Taurus.
can go I have to be careful about some things because I can take on those negative aspects of being a Taurian, being selfish, being lazy, being the chronic shopper, and the acquiring of things. So you can take on the shadow side of it easily if you're not careful. So, because we're all made up of light and dark. We're all negative and positive, good and bad, whatever. And so the signs, the astrological signs are the exact same way. There's good aspects and there's bad aspects. And you need to integrate them or be at least aware of when you're doing one over the other.
If
So-
she's a June 21st baby, which is she? I
She's
don't
a
know
Cancer.
that we're that well.
What comes after Taurus? Is that Gemini?
Gemini, Cancer, Leo.
So the 21st would be around the solstice, which means on the cusp, which means you can go 2 different ways.
Oh.
That's
She
what,
says
being on the
she's-
cusp is
She
complicated.
goes by Cancer, not Gemini.
Okay. My mom was on the cusp and was much more Sagittarius than she was Capricorn, so I get that.
I was born one day away from being a Cancer. It ends
And
the
yet
25th.
Cancer's
I'm trying
the
to think of
crowd.
something funny.
No, but Cancer's the crowd, and when you get upset or something doesn't go your way, you burnt like the lion, and then you retreat like the crab. So she has a great tendency to do that. She'll be like, "Grr!" And then she hides in her bedroom and you don't see her. Same like what you did with your friends. So you're on that cusp, but you show both.
Exactly. Like me being in the middle of the month, there's no other sign. Nope, just complete Taurus. And so when someone is more closer to another sign, you'll have some aspects.
I'm all Aquarius. Water
You're all
baby.
about the water, yes.
I'm all
we
about
know.
the water. The very few close-knit friends, ironically, usually more not self-absorbed, that's not the right word, self-reflective.
Mhm. Water signs can also be wishy-washy.
Yes.
Yes.
My dad and mom are perfect because mom will be like, look how many you need. Dad's like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It's you gotta do this first. Oh, you're right. Or he's just like,
Whatever,
you figure that out on
you're
your
gonna
own.
learn. Yeah.
He's a Taurus. My brother's a Pisces. I'm a Leo.
Tristan being
You're
a
screwed with
Pisces.
children.
I love both my kids.
Of course you do.
Was on him a little bit ago. So anyway, yeah. Signs do play a lot. At one point I had a lady do a star chart for me, and she was really in depth with it, but I never read it and I lost it. And I'd like to go back and I'd like to find it.
Jessica says she's a Gemini. I knew a Gemini.
I think you're the only Gemini friend I've ever had. That's not. When were you born, Jessica? I know this, but it's not coming into my head right now.
Alright, let's look. Oh, it's dead.
Yes, Cancer is a water sign, Birdie.
I'm fire. I'm a lion.
Corey, being born May 10th, you're a Taurus like me. Yay, we're the best.
Hard-headed, stubborn.
I don't even know the meaning of the word. Stubborn. Stubborn. I can't even say stubborn. Yes,
Leo the lion.
the Taurians are probably the most stubborn of the signs you will have, because we're always right. We know it, and we're going to prove it to you.
I'm a natural blonde, but I dyed my hair red and I fit my sign much better. That's a joke Miss Christine made.
Do you know my ex was a Leo?
November 25th, Jessica?
My ex was a Gemini.
Or September 25th. See, one of my best friends and I do not. There's a block on her birthday. I mean, she said the 25th, but.
Christina says she's Leo, but she doesn't have that center of attention aspect too. LOL, too shy. I try really hard not to be like me. I try.
You fail a lot.
It's not easy.
Do you want to look up her birthday? It's at the
May.
everything's at the bottom with
May.
Foxfire.
May 25th. That's a joke. That's a joke.
May 25th.
May
That would be closer to the cusp.
Okay, I read that wrong. Paddle Fest, yes. Yes. You know who?
I knew a Gemini. She was batshit.
Well, the negative aspect of the Geminis will be they're two-faced.
Oh, definitely. I knew a couple Libras. I don't like Libras.
Now, I had an ex for a Libra for an ex, too.
Yeah, me too.
They're I think, seriously, Jessica, I think you're the only Gemini friend I know of. We get along well?
You're not crazy.
I mean, any of the signs, they have wonderful aspects and they have negative aspects. So it's not like...
Oh, she was just all negative aspects.
Well, she was also a teenager, so... Teenagers are all about the drama.
Memorial Day weekend, that's right. Your birthday's coming up pretty soon. Yeah, the first time I went to Paddle Fest was right after Colorado legalized marijuana. And I have never in my life smelled so much pot on a river than that weekend. I was probably high, not from smoking it, but just from kayaking through it.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous the amount of pot on that river that weekend. Okay.
Well, Texas is probably gonna go the same way, so.
So we've got 5 people left. Everybody else has left us because they know we're done for the night.
Anybody have any questions or any other questions that we can or probably can't answer?
Oh, we've done pretty good so far.
We have.
Didn't
And
go
we have-
too off topic today.
No? So if you have gotten any value out of this show, we would ask you to, there's somewhere in the event, there is a link to make a donation through PayPal. We're not asking you to, we're saying if you feel led to. We do this for free, so it's just, do you want to give us a tip or not? And it's not a big deal one way or the other. It's all up to you. And definitely spread the word though, invite your friends, because we do a lot of good work here. And the more people we have to work with and for, the better we get.
Yes. And we will sit down next week, we will come up with a date and time, because I think we should do the guided meditation.
That would be a good idea, but we need someone's house to do it in, or a venue to do it in that is relatively inexpensive so that it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Oh, do it on here, online, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I meant, I didn't
that's
mean
what, okay. you
coming
meant-
over to
yeah.
my house, no.
Yeah, you do have room.
I do, but I'm also very protective of who enters my house.
Yes, you are. I felt honored that you were like,
That's a whole nother discussion topic as to why I don't like people in my house. That's my sanctuary. I'm out
yeah,
in everything so much, dealing with so many people that my house is literally my sanctuary.
that's what your house is supposed to be. And if the energy coming into your house isn't good, then your sanctuary is spoiled.
Yes.
So yeah, I totally get.
But we will come up with a date and time and we'll announce it next weekend.
We'll do
Next
guided
week.
next week. Do guided meditation for meeting your spirit guides. I'll even make an event.
Yeah, so look on her page. We'll find it.
Yeah, if you, for those of new people that are still here, the best way to get invited to stuff is to friend me. I don't need new friends, but that's the only way to really stay in touch, is to be a friend. And that way you get invited to everything that we do, which is considerable, actually. So let us know, and if you want a private reading, message me via Facebook Messenger, and we will start talking. And we will see you next week.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Again. The big blue button.
If you end this live video now, you will be able to